Hey, it's JC14241 once again with another race recap for the 2018 Core League season. This is race 11, the Jimmy 48 fan battle at Talladega. Went to this track myself just last year for the very first time, and I guess you could say it was the first NASCAR race that I ever went to and attended. It was a pretty long drive, and it was quite the experience. As soon as the race starts off, we go into turn one, and Ed Soundhead apparently checks up to let his teammate in line, which checks up the entire inside lane. It ruins Joseph's race, it ruined my race, and that's about it. But I was like, oh, I'm going to need a caution. The whole field's going to have to just wreck each other and set each other back for us to get back up there. And here we are in lap 4, just like last time at a Superspeedway whenever we went to Daytona. Brendan has the slowest car out there, and I think most of that's just because of the fact that, like, he steers. I think he does that tapping thing with the analog stick, and I guess it's just not smooth enough on this game. And then my internet starts falling off as we're working with Dale Reynolds on lap 11. And it didn't knock me down pit road, but I was like, fuck it, let's just go ahead and go down pit road, even though it was way too early upon my standards. I think the earliest that everybody else started pitting was on lap 12, so it couldn't be that bad, but I think this is not a very superior strategy. 15.3 seconds, decent pit stop, even though it doesn't really matter because we're already like over 10 seconds off the pace or something. Also, I'm using this test car because it's completely black. This is a super speedway, and, you know, intimidator things. I did it for Dale, which is interesting enough. So after pit stops, lap 20, and me and Dale Reynolds are working together, except I'm in front of him this time. We fly past Iceberg just because a lot of momentum. I didn't want to just sit there on the bottom and slow ourselves down. And then a couple laps later, we're going down the backstretch, and my internet just fucking derps everyone in the mirror, which brought out the caution that me, Dale Reynolds, Iceberg, Joseph Lombard for sure, and yeah, pretty much I guess that sums it up. That's the caution that we needed, the blessing that we needed to have. And honestly, I feel like I was going to deserve a caution at some point. It's not like I wanted to lag in front of anybody, but I certainly wanted a caution of some sort because that just fucking sucked. Race start that way. I don't know. Like, I think it was Caleb got knocked into the wall. I don't know. Because of this zigzag lag. That's fun to say. Zigzag lag. It's either left or right or forward and back. And then I get a little of the forward and back myself because of my internet, you know, stuttering again right here. And I get Earnhardted into the outside wall. It's like before I have myself my very first win at a super speedway, I've got to get the other kind of Earnhardt thing where I get the outside wall really hard and die. But I didn't die. It's like Dale Earnhardt's life happening in reverse. I don't know when Dale Earnhardt decided he was going to park next to Joey Logano over here and not do anything like he's stupid, but that just happened. That was weird. Freaking AI driver sees a car in front of me, doesn't know what to do. Just sit there. Yeah, so restart, lap 31, 17 laps to go. I like that I kept on having restarts on the inside lane, but anytime I was on the outside lane, I think like just couldn't handle it that well. Usually wasn't really my fault whenever it did happen, but yeah, it's just a little of that zigzag. I don't know what Incarnation is doing, but I'm pretty sure some of that is his own doing, just going all the way down to the bottom. Also, there's no yellow line rule in the Core League for super speedways, which is pretty awesome. So every now and then I would like put that in effect, you know, just actually race. Iceberg got hit by Incarnation, and that stacked everything up to the point where I had to check up for him. And now we're 3 wide. We got Cody H Gaming on the inside and Dale Reynolds on my outside. We got What If Racing behind me. And this is where one of those big situations, aside from me and What Incarnation, this was the only person who had internet problems, I think, and that was Iceberg. And why whenever his internet just started slowing up, he just disappeared completely. I don't know if his internet just stopped or what, but that was it right there. Also, my AI driver driving into the wall repeatedly. Why? Oh, one thing I should mention. Go back on Dale Reynolds' stream version of this, and during that wreck, his car flew out of the track. And then it was back on the track again. It was hilarious. Darian Gilliam cut off Joseph Lombard at this restart and was slowing up the outside lane too. I don't know if he's still using automatic transmission or what, but you see Erica Step go all the way into the grass and onto the apron, and he pulls back onto the track. And I'm really proud of the Core Racers for this one. Like, whenever someone gets back on the track, they all just move to the top and, you know, don't cause a massive wreck. I think this is one of the only times where it actually happened. I think it's just because there's so much room and there's no off-throttle time. The cars are easy to control, that it's possible for everyone to move over whenever someone gets knocked off like that. Because it happened with me earlier. All right, so this restart on lap 35, so I guess with like 12 laps to go, I suppose. And if you just listen to it right there, how much I got off the gas because the field's stacking up. And at this point, What Incarnation's in the lead, so I'm pretty sure that's why they were stacking up so much. I was like, we have no yellow line rule. I should be doing this whenever the field is slowing down in front of me. If we're in a straightaway, I might as well just go beneath them and make a pass, because that's the main reason why we don't have a yellow line rule, is just so that we can actually make passes whenever we have the opportunity. I think Cody H. Gaming and What If Racing were like, what a jackass. And I'm like, oh, I mean, look at me. I'm in a test car. What else the fuck am I supposed to do? But, yeah, a while ago, Ed Soundhead was getting chopped off by Joseph Lombard. You know, this game not being very clear on things. And What Incarnation still lagging more than anyone else in this race. I think mine is only like half or a little more than what his is compared to that. But this was the final restart of the race. It was a weird while ago. I got attached to Ed's bumper because of that situation. Like, I got stuck to it. Yeah, Joseph Lombard trying to make it 3 wide right here. And it's all just stacking up in front of him. And I don't know if it's the internet or the swervy swerve. And he's just having such a good restart. And I don't know if he was just not getting off the gas enough or what. But despite the blessings and the caution and everything, still ended up getting all knocked backwards. And What Incarnation. The internet just, like, he's in the lead, and he's just like, whenever his internet does anything, everyone just freaking spread out. I got knocked into the wall. We were like 5 wide for a second because of that one. Still, because of adjustments made and a couple of the cautions before the restarts, I found myself being able to really manipulate the draft and carry momentum very well on the outside. So this was my chance. This time by 6 laps to go. Got What If Racing running 6 right in front of me. And also, I didn't think about it at the time, but Brendan running in 4th place, I feel like we'd be able to catch up with him easily just because he had the slowest car out there. So Darian's zigzagging and stuff. I think What If Racing would have not been right here next to me if Caleb had hit him any harder after going back up on the track. But you saw that a while ago going through turns 3 and 4. So I made a 3 wide move because, like, okay, I'm going to the outside to make some passes right here. I was really just, trying to experiment and see what my car could do, because I felt like this would be the last restart just because of how things spread out without a caution and everything. And for a second, I thought I had put What If Racing in the outside wall when I was looking at my mirror, but he actually just kind of did it himself. And I didn't realize this until afterwards, but once I completed the pass on Brendan, I was like, I guess he just has that slow car like last time. 5 laps to go. Car Nation in the lead. Ed Soundhead running in 2nd, and Cody H. Gaming is giving the push. Those 2 guys are teammates, and this was it. A 4-car battle for the win at Talladega Superspeedway. And yeah, I figured that I wouldn't be able to pull myself into this battle just because they're so far away, but my car is just really good with that momentum. Running 206 miles an hour. Yeah, just clicked it a little bit on the speedometer. So finally, What Incarnation pulls to the outside and sides. I get that I've lag wrecked the field like 3 times, so I'm just going to get out of the way and try not to cause any more wrecks. We'll start making moves whenever we get to like the last lap or so, and I think that's what his mentality was. So, I mean, I got to run on the inside, but they're pushing each other, and I don't want to make some super move going down below the yellow line. It's like, well, I made a pass on the outside a while ago, and so my mentality was maybe I could do it with these guys. And I honestly figured that a bunch more people would have adjustments in so that they could hold speed just like my car could, but I remember Ed tried to do it, but it didn't make him take his pit stop whenever he got everything in. Like, he chose options to take his pit stop, and it didn't happen. And you saw how much of a run I could carry on the outside. I got a big one, and go with the whole corner just side by side, come down the backstretch, and we're still neck and neck with Ed Soundhead. But the thing is, whenever he had someone like Cody H. Gaming pushing him on the bottom, even with What Incarnation behind me, it just was enough for me to really do it at this point. I needed to have a pretty darn big run, and not that much of a push from whoever was on the bottom with me. And then I was like, okay, internet, just stop it, okay? And for a little bit, it did stop, and then it started again for a little while. And coming to like the final lap, it was just on and off, but it was nothing that I couldn't handle. It was just like, after seeing something like that, I was kind of scared to pull down to the bottom, because it's basically a death trap. I'm a sitting duck for my internet to kill me again, but it's like, it only does it whenever I'm not behind a car. It's just very unique. There's a lot of luck in that one. And What Incarnation is doing that forward backward thing, and that had to have been his internet because it was the only one on my end doing it. So this time we're coming off turn 4, still just running side by side with Cody H Gaming and Ed Soundhead, and really didn't skip through any footage on this final clip after the final restart and everything. The main reason why is because I want to show you guys the entire battle. One Incarnation's still, forward and back a little bit. So, yeah, it's hard to approve of this kind of racing, at Superspeedway whenever you go online this game, and can't really blame it so much on our internet, because in so many other NASCAR games, whenever you have internet problems like this, it doesn't cause so many freaking wrecks. Like on iRace, when someone's lagging, they just kind of disappear and then appear again. Or in NASCAR games by Utechnics, it would just kind of ghost them and stuff. But this one, forward, backward, zigzagging, crap. But I mean, you saw that move right there. What Incarnation got underneath Cody H Gaming going down the backstretch, and he moved up, and I got my nose underneath him into turn 3. And now running in second, the white flag is waving over there as we're coming across the front stretch. I'm behind Ed Soundhead, and then, boop, internet. And, well, that was the last of it to harm me with this one. So, it's like, I still think there's a chance we can win this race, because I'm back enough of a distance behind What Incarnation and Ed Soundhead that I can get a really big run and maybe make a pass on the outside like I always do. Because I didn't feel like What Incarnation and Cody H Gaming would be pushing each other hard enough. And then What Incarnation just veered off the track. I didn't know what the hell happened. I thought it would have something to do with Ed or his internet, but it's a combination of both of ours. Here I go, pulling to the outside of Ed Soundhead. I'm like, oh, it didn't work last time, but this time he doesn't have somebody pushing him. So I'm like, okay, well, here we go. We got a side draft. I mean, it might be really close, and my internet's, on and off with the lag and stuff, but we got to do this, and I'm doing it. My freaking heart is pounding in my head. That doesn't make any sense, but my pulse. And I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. We won at Talladega Superspeedway. Finally won a race this season. And of course, I could say it, this could have been my second win of the season. We definitely could have won at Chicagoland, but I threw that one away. But it's okay. I'm glad I could have won this race. This race actually took place on my dad's birthday. So once again, happy birthday, Dad. And once again, this is pretty much happening 18 years after the death of Dale Earnhardt. And we go out there and we do it at a super speedway. And it's not Daytona, but still, it's just a full combination. It's like we got Earnhardted into the wall, but then we won the race. So it's some kind of subliminal offensive messaging. I'm sorry if what I'm saying doesn't make any sense, but it don't matter. Nothing I say makes any sense. I might be dumb, but I know what racing is. That was the worst Forrest Gump meme ever. I've been watching Forrest Gump, okay? I like that movie. It's funny, it's because he's from Alabama, and this is Talladega, so it fits. I don't know. But after that win, we finished enough positions in front of Brendan and Joseph to get us into 6th place in the point standings. I think I was in 8th previously, and we're in range to get up to 4th because of Raw Gator and Sloppy Joe, I believe. They didn't race either of them at Talladega, so I don't know if both of them are going to be at Atlanta or not, but if we managed to finish, I think, far enough in front of Sloppy Joe or Raw Gator, we could get to 5th or 4th, which is just fantastic. But the fact that I'm making a little bit of a comeback with my performance at Talladega, it's such a relief, because I was like, I can't believe I'm going to have this kind of season where every race goes bad and something goes wrong every time, whether it be my doing or just terrible luck. And luck was just on my side, and that's kind of what you need at a super speedway, is a lot of luck, because luck is more important than almost anything. You got to have some moves, you got to have some strategy, adjustments and stuff, but luck really is the most important thing. And drivers like Dale Reynolds, who I feel really bad for, who's now 6 points and supposedly 8 points behind What If Racing going into the final race. I just feel really bad for him, as well as Joseph Lombard, who he got screwed in the opening lap just like me, and at the final restart as well. Next up is Atlanta for the final race of the season. Was the one race that I did in the preseason, and I won it. So that was the custom setups and everything, and I'm pretty good around tracks like Atlanta, where it's a 1.5 miler, but it's full throttle, because I did it at Chicagoland and almost won it, and then the preseason. So should I have a really good chance? Just got to get my practice race done. I'm sorry that the race recap is coming out this late, but I had work on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, which are the days where I record videos, so everything just kind of stacked up. And plus my brother came in town for like the first time in almost a year, then I was able to see him this weekend, so just had to put this off for a while. But hopefully a lot of people come back and look at my perspective of the race, because I'm sure it's probably one of the most important ones, considering I won it. And maybe, just maybe, we can
have a good season overall, finishing in the top 5, and I'll be satisfied with 6th place considering where I was and just finishing 8th, 9th, and then 8th again in the past 4 races. So glad this could finally happen. But aside from that, see you next time. That's that, and race recap over.